Wow. So these guys from Facebook and Twitter, Mark Zuckerberg and Jack Dorsey, feel like they've got some godlike powers and that they can just ban this person and ban that person, ban that conservative over there, silence that right winger over there, shut that other guy over there up. Even if you're center left or you're center right, I don't care. If you're not far left, shut you up, shut you up, shut you up. You are not abiding by the narrative. And this is how these guys have been acting this whole time, like as if they're some kind of God who have powers over your own freedom of speech. And right now, I think they have touched the wrongest person that they should have, regardless of all his mistakes. This man was anointed in 2016 to become the American president. Once you are anointed once, you are anointed for good. And the Bible says, in Psalm 105, verse 15, not promise like Biden would say, but the Psalm says, touch not my anointed and do my prophet no harm. I don't mean to preach today, but guys, Facebook just lost a lot of money because they banned Trump, because they impinged his own freedom of speech, because they are trying to play God with us. Now, a lot of people have been celebrating this, but a lot of smart people, whether they be on the left or on the right, smart people know the real ramifications of these things because they know that you are taking away people's freedom of speech. Now, a lot of people want to argue that Facebook, Twitter, these are private owned companies and they can do whatever they want with their own platforms. Of course, I can understand that. You can do whatever you want, but you can't just unfairly log someone out or ban someone from your platform when that person has abided by your rules. And we can tell that other people aren't. And you have been performing double standards with a lot of people on the left who are actually inciting violence. We had David Cross, a Hollywood actor, who said he doesn't care about Biden's unity speech and that he wants blood. We've had people threaten other people's jobs. We've had leftists put on posters and photos of Trump beheaded and blood dripping out and things like that. And those things have still been left on Twitter. And also we've had other people that are on the left who have been claiming, okay, election fraud. They've been doing this thing from 2016 and still they've been left on Twitter. They were never banned. They were never ever banned from Twitter. Didn't Hillary Clinton claim election fraud, that the election was stolen from her? Wasn't there a hashtag not my president by leftists? But still, regardless of everything they did, regardless of all the violence they committed, they were still left on Twitter. What exactly did Trump do? Now, let's jump into this story right here. From the Business Insider reporting that Facebook and Twitter, the two largest social media platforms to permanently ban Donald Trump for his role in the last week's Capitol riots, saw $51.2 billion in combined market value erased over the last two trading sessions. So in a couple of days or so or thereabouts, they lost $51.2 billion combined. All right, so companies across sectors have responded to the president's rhetorics in recent days by pausing political donations, making statements decrying his inflammatory remarks, and pulling products with links to the right-wing movement. So everybody that kind of like leans right, or even people like Tim Pool, who is actually a center libertarian independent, he's neither right nor left. He is somebody that has been accused by the right for supporting the left. He's somebody that's been accused by the left for supporting the right. He's just somebody who's kind of like neutral, has also been censored. And we've all seen a lot of people that are right-wingers that are being censored, or people who are actually left-wing, but they are sensible human beings who are actually, reasoning from a neutral perspective. They've been censored as well. So apparently we are kind of like losing our freedom of speech. Anyway, both companies cited the risk of additional violence for the bans. These are the reasons, but investors largely balked at the action. Facebook tumbled 4% on Monday and another 2.2% on Tuesday as shareholders dumped the stock, likely fearing the ban could drive users off the platform. By the time markets closed on Tuesday, Facebook market cap at 47.6 billion below its Friday level. God damn. Seriously? God is damning them. 47.6 billion below what the stock should be. That's a lot of money. That is a lot of money lost by Facebook. Now, will they come back up? I have no idea. I really don't know how the stock market things work. But right now, this is a clear sign that there are certain things that you don't do. Now, a lot of people might be looking at me. A lot of you might be wondering, why do I keep referring to Trump as an anointed one? Like people in the Bible are the holiest of holies and that they are without mistakes. No, only one was without mistake, and that's Jesus Christ. As far as the rest of the holy ones, they were full of mistake, but God's grace prevailed. Not that they didn't suffer, but anybody that touched them, regardless of their mistake, got burned. And this is exactly what's happening to these guys. Now let's go over to the reasons why these two guys decided to actually ban Trump. Now, Jack Dorsey released on his Twitter account saying, "I do not celebrate or feel pride in having a ban on the real Donald Trump from Twitter, or how we got here. After a clear warning that we'd take action, we made a decision with the best information we had based on threats to physical safety, both on and off Twitter." Was this correct? Well, what exactly did Donald Trump tweet? What was the tweet that was the straw that broke the camel's back? Trump simply said he wasn't going to attend the inauguration. And reality is nobody was going to attend the inauguration because, as Biden has been doing, he's going to be conducting an inauguration from his basement. It's going to be a virtual inauguration. As far as we know, I don't know if plans have changed, but that was what was announced, that it was going to be a virtual inauguration. So why should Trump be there? And who made these people the future or the telepathic or deciphers to know that Trump saying he's not going to be there, all of a sudden he's inciting violence? How does "I'm not going to go attend somebody's inauguration" turn into inciting violence? And "I want blood," as David Cross posted on his own Twitter, doesn't incite violence. It's all weird with all this, their double standards. Anyway, let's check out what Mr. Good Old Zuckerberg has to say about this thing. So Zuckerberg released his own statement saying, "The shocking events of the last 24 hours clearly demonstrate the president, Donald Trump, intends to use his remaining time in office to undermine the peaceful and lawful transition of power to his elected successor, Joe Biden." And this is after Trump tweeted a speech saying he was going to peacefully hand over, and he called for law and order, and he actually chastised those bastards, those criminals, those insurrectors, those psychopaths, those clowns who actually carried out those insurrections. He chastised every single one of them. He also announced that the largest manhunt is out there to arrest any one of them that they are yet to arrest, because dozens of them were in there and over 80 people were arrested on the day. Trump also ordered a flag to be raised for the two police officers that died, one during the actions and another one died of suicide. What more did you want from this guy? This guy tweeted something to kind of like correct his mistakes, right? Asking for peace, asking for a peaceful transfer. And then he tweeted again, people should not carry out anything violent. And then he said, "I'm not attending the inauguration." And they were like, "Hey, now we got ya. Now we got ya. You're inciting violence right there." That's what we've been waiting for. The first tweet he posted without using the word peace and no violence, and all of a sudden he's inciting violence. Is that how they reason? This is absolutely crazy. This is absolutely nuts. And the way these people are behaving, they are trying to be God, but God is showing that he is greater than them. To be honest with you, I don't know if you believe in him or not, but this is the reality and this is what is happening to them. And I, for one, do not have a single remorse for Jack Dorsey or Mark Zuckerberg. I think they deserve what they are getting. And look, if their shares and stocks do not go up, there are a lot of platforms coming out now that are going to be doing the same thing, and people are moving to all of them. And look, in as much as these people have tried to blackball Parler, that is like the new Twitter app, or like the other version of Twitter app, they blackballed them. And those guys aren't even Christians, conservatives, or right-wing or right-leaning people. They just created an app for people to use, and they blackball them. They use Amazon to take them off their platform. There is nothing, you can't even find anything about Parler right now. They're not a right-wing app or company. They're just a neutral company rendering service to all, freedom of speech. and they got blackballed. So they can't do it to all of these new social media coming out. They have, I think, BitChute. They have new social media apps coming out here, there, and everywhere. We are going to be seeing a whole lot of them. And hopefully these people's powers get taken away from them so that our freedom of speech can be secured and we can still have the right to air our views wherever we want and whenever we want, as long as we are not trying to actually incite violence or harm onto another person. Guys, this is all I have to say. I could talk about this for hours, but man, I want to hear what you guys have to say in that comment section below. Thank you guys for watching this video. Hope you like it. If you did, help me out by hitting that thumbs up. And if you also want to, you can subscribe and ding that bell for notification. I'll be catching you guys real soon. Take care, peace, and have a good rest of your weekend.